what is the motive of graphic design within the film industry? In 1878, the first motion picture was created, using 12 separate cameras to film a man riding a horse on Leyland Stanford's Palo Alto stock farm. Not exactly the high-action special effects driven, Braveheart-style Hollywood blockbuster we get nowadays.
But they'll never take our freedom!
Even back then, Edward Muybridge was using photography and design processes such as stop motion. Now ask yourself, could the film industry survive without graphical elements? Props, storyboarding, film marketing, promotional material. There's going to be a need for graphic design in film. Charlie Wilson's War is a perfect example of this. How could you have Tom Hanks standing on the Capitol lobby floor without the title floor and wall graphics? I mean, look at the beautiful on-screen graphics we get in our modern cinema in this day and age.
Fucking spectacular!
You're a fucking genius!
I know.
So we've established the relationship between graphic design within the film industry, but what's the motive? Let's break this down a bit. In the film industry, prop design plays a vital part in movie making as it motivates the character and helps the actor during scenes. Without our hero props, we would not have the level of immersion we get captured today. Film characters often become instantly recognisable through their props. I mean, even look at Indiana Jones for instance, his hat, his bullwhip. These two props serve as an extension of his character, personality, and help him become recognisable instantly.
If I've done my job right in creating that piece of paper, the possibilities are literally endless. I mean, one single piece of paper can communicate a huge amount in telling the audience about the character or about the scene.
And this is what the motive of prop design is, to both captivate the audience and the actors involved, which will give more impactful and believable performances, enhancing the scenes. They give the audience subconscious clues about the character or scene that they may lead up to another character or scene, acting as a foreshadowing agent. This gives the hero prop even more levels of importance to the story. Look at Mina Lima's hero prop of Tom Riddle's diary in the Chamber of Secrets. We see the book 2 hours before the crux of the finale, handed over to Ginny Weasley's character, showing not only did we know who was involved from the start, but also our characters were in possession of the main piece of the puzzle from the beginning. Noticing tiny Easter eggs like this are things you would catch on a replay, which make the movie experience even more enjoyable on a rewatch. When these small, simple things are so beautifully right for a movie, so perfectly executed, they can seem incidental, like they must have already existed somewhere in the fairground vernacular. For over the past 100 years, movie posters have been the #1 way to get moviegoers to purchase tickets and get people in front of the silver screen. Is it fine artists, illustrators, photographers, or even graphic designers? It's very nuanced, but the answer is that graphic designers design a majority of movie posters, but when you break it down, it takes a team to make a movie poster in contemporary times and the past. After an interview I had with a Poster Archive Instagram account called Poster Spy, I learned a lot about how posters are generated and perceived from 2 separate lenses, because at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be super intricate if it's built on this speculation and hype, as fan perspective will always top design perspective. Poster Spy was kind enough to leave a statement saying, posters has to be representative of the film and must show consistency throughout the rest of the branding to capture the essence and feeling the actual movie has made towards the audience and will prepare them for the kind of experience they're about to endure. We can now see that graphic visuals definitely help with magnifying the interactive experience outside the movie experience, as it tells a blurb of the story through visuals and digital collage culminated from professional photography from the director of photography. Now, even though we've discovered that it will always be a fan speculation of design perspective, Saul Bass once said, "I want to make beautiful things even if nobody cares." Now this completely flips the script and begs the question, should designers' perspective overtake fans' speculation of the film in order to show beautiful artwork even if nobody cares? So going back to the original question of what is the motive of graphic design in the film industry.
What is it?
Father's lightsaber.
We've gathered an understanding that graphic designers within the art department help increase the immersion for the actors, especially for in the prop department, as this not only pushes an actor's performance,
It's a DeLorean.
but also defines their characters.
I like this thing.
Is this the golden snitch?
I like this book.
The motive of graphic design is to enhance the movie experience. As part of my study and research into the motive of graphic design in the film industry, I decided to choose a book that had not been adapted to screen and interpret my own vision of what it would look like as live action adaptation. I looked into graphic visuals used in the prop department and fields within film marketing such as the art of the poster, and even the design of a movie ticket. What I think I've achieved with my findings and my own experiments is the understanding of the kinds of processes that are available for prop design, such as resin, metalwork and 3D printing, which required me to capture an understanding of the modeling of 3D software called Blender. I also got the chance to use an older process such as the use of a typewriter, which I found quite difficult to use at times because my spelling is the worst thing to exist in the history of type. If I was to change anything in terms of work in prop design, it would be to account for the weight of the 3D printed props, so that when used on the set for the actors wouldn't have to pretend that the props weigh more than they already do. And the props will be able to interact with the set and scenery better, like let's say for instance, being dropped on all the sounds it makes on other metallic materials. You can't really capture that with something that light. From my look into the art of the poster, I looked at a lot of studios that worked with the field of graphic design, such as Art Machine or Creative Partnership. Most recently, Art Machine have designed promotional material for the new Disney Plus show Moon Knight, where they use hero props as their centric pieces in individual posters. I like this concept a lot because I thought it best suited my prop design, but however in my own particular style that fit the genre of the Lost Order book. What I like about it is the consistency in terms of design, layers and composition, as it makes all the props tying together as one piece and creates a bridge between the props connecting it all back to the story. If I could change anything, it would be to have done the collage technique with images to form a fictional set of my own. However, due to time and Photoshop struggling with file sizes, it didn't seem both appropriate or feasible. Overall, I think the research and the studio practice turned out great, as not only were I able to learn new processes in both print and digital, but also the fact that I got to create a fictional world or just items from a fictional world from my own perspective, from just lifting words from the page.
Interested in film, read Film Form and Film Sense by Sergei Eisenstein, and I did, and I actually wrote my thesis at Yale on sort of collateral stimuli when the work of the graphic designer complements the visual sense of the filmmaker. I was very interested in looking at filmmakers who had started as graphic designers or art directors at that time. Like, if you remember, Ridley Scott is kind of coming from a design background, and whether or not David Fincher was a graphic designer or not, nonetheless, I think he is a designer. I mean, I think the best filmmakers, of course, are graphic designers. And I remember the head of the graphic design program at Yale, Albin Eisenman, said to me, once, Kyle, the world needs more graphic designers than filmmakers.